doing the stamp exercises first. Honestly, that's my favorite exercise to be doing as my first notes every day. I usually start on G though. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about high register, and I'm going to warm up a bit more on my high register and double tonguing. I want my lips to be like close together, touching before the note even starts, and so I get this kind of like p sound at the front of the note. Like that. Then maintain the closeness of my lips as I descend into the middle register. The highest I go is starting on a F sharp at the top of the staff for that exercise. Because honestly, first notes of the day, the last thing you want to be doing is playing as high as you can. At least for me. I watched a warm-up video with, I think he was David Pyatt, the principal horn of the London Symphony, I think. And he said that he doesn't play above the staff when he does his warm-up, like an F. Maybe it's already there for him. I mean, I definitely have to warm up above the staff, but I try not to make it my first notes of the day. So after I do the stamp exercise, I do some scales. So one way I like to practice my scales is first to sort of x-ray the range in which they're going to play. So every scale you play is going to cover at least an octave. And I like to play the chromatic version of it first so that my face can track the in-between from the bottom pitch to the top pitch without having any like big bumps. So for C. So after I've done the chromatic version, then I start to do my major scales. I do them in groups of 3. First, 8th notes, triplets, 16th notes. And then I repeat the process of doing a chromatic scale. After I've done 3 chromatics, then I go back into the majors. So one thing that I really see as important is making sure, again, that my lips are super close together as I'm playing and warming that up in the on the horn, because I feel like when things don't work for me, it's usually my lips are too far apart in my warm-up. So I try to really address that as like one of the first things of the day. So I'm going to try to get this like p sound at the front of my very first note of each scale. Yeah, exactly. So, and then once I get that puh sound at the very front of my first note of the scale, I try to keep that contact between my lips for the entire length of the scale. So again, trying to get this puh sound. Yeah, exactly. And then maintain that for the whole scale. And then going up on chromatic again. Whoa. I haven't been practicing my F sharp chromatic scale. I'm gonna try that one more time, but huffed, so no articulation with the tongue. Well, that is actually an ab workout when you do it no tongue. I'm gonna try that one more time. Okay. I don't go too much higher on my scale exercises first thing in the day. A. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. I'm warming up in the high register right now. Yeah, I feel like the high register for me is always the last thing to be working. So it requires the most time, but also the most care. I can't approach it like trying to play Star Wars first thing in the day. If you have any amount of water in the horn, it makes playing in the high register also like twice as difficult. Honestly, I feel like I was playing better when I was just air attacking my scales in the high register, because it requires so much more support that I'm going to try the next 3 scales just breath attacking them. So here's an A major breath attack. Alright, now B major, 16 notes breath attack. Ow. And then a C major scale up to high C, all breath attacked. Wow, it is really easy to get lightheaded doing that exercise. Whew. breath attack. Here we go, breath attack C major. Alright, now that I've done my scales, I want to be doing some harmonic exercises, which are usually my most, they're just the most fun. I'll start with a lip trill exercise. That's part harmonic series exercise. Okay, lip trill's done. What's next is my most fun exercise, which is the harmonic series exercise. There are two that I'll do. So this one's supposed to just go kind of quick. Whoa, that one was going slow. Try to get a little less blatty on the low notes. One thing that I've noticed is that I've been sort of less stable on low notes, where I haven't been playing at the same pitch from the very start of the note to the very end. There's like a little bit of a wobble. And the way you kind of counteract that is to be Very relaxed, stable with your corners, but also super supported. But also the air speed has to stay the same from the very front of the note to the very end. Ooh. Till is one of the more difficult excerpts to coordinate. Always, the first like 2 bars is the hardest part for me. Going from the E to the G in the staff. I wonder what's going on there. I think it's probably having to do with my intonation, where I start playing out of the center of notes. Let's see. Normally I write high on G's and high on C's. So I'm going to pull up my tuner and then see what that tells me. If I can improve my clarity of articulation by playing more in tune. Oh, I got to set it to 4/4/1. 4/4/1. Boom. There we go. Okay, that's pretty in tune. I need to start a little bit lower on G's. My question is, do you play the last 3 notes separate or legato? I've had teachers tell me to play it both ways. Let me try practicing it legato, because I prefer playing it separate, bum, bum, bum. But I've had teachers go bum, ba, bum, because there is no staccato written between the last 3 notes of till. Yeah, I prefer playing it separate as well, Scott. It was Andrew. Andrew Bain told me he plays it. He's got a beastly till, and the last 3 notes are like monstrously loud, but he always played them like very legato, and I never really knew how to do it. He also doesn't like change his set. He like plays it all kind of on his high set. Yeah, I know, right? Good for him. Yeah. How's it going, Scott? Have you started teaching yet? For the school year in Kentucky? Cool, man. Nice. That's super exciting. So are you doing like, are you still playing with Louisville? Or taking a leave? Or... By the way, that noise, if you heard it, was like a carriage. I live on top of a garage in a carriage house. It's like a deafening sound. Okay, yeah. From what I heard of like my professor friends, it's a lot of like clerical work being a professor. but that's super exciting. That's super exciting. Congrats on the job. Yeah, so wait, that was a little bit of Till. You're officially on sabbatical, but you live like... Oh, nice. Dude, that's the best thing about living in the Midwest, that you can live like right next to your hall, honestly. When I'm in California, commuting to gigs is like, it's a disaster. Well, it's not a disaster, but it's like, if you live a few miles from where you're going to play, it can take anywhere from, I don't know, 10 minutes to an hour. The Music Man, potential student Scott. Nice. Scott, do you still do much teaching outside of, like, do you do private lessons? By the way, if I'm like interviewing you and you need to go, feel free to leave. I don't want to like hold you hostage in my live stream, my warm-up live stream. Okay. Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah, I liked how you did the scrolling. Okay, good. I like how you did the scrolling stuff for your latest video. You have a middle schooler and a high schooler too. Yeah, I have right now. I have an elementary school student who's like a total beast. I've never taken on elementary school kids, but he studied for like 2 years in Qatar first, and then he played for me, and so now he's 10, and he's next lesson going to be finishing with the first movement of Strauss 1. It's like kind of unreal. And then I have a high schooler who's serious about taking. He's going to go into music, so I'd love for him to take a lesson with you too. I would love to set the wheels in motion, because he's going to be like working for, or he's going to be working up the NYO excerpts. So I would love for him to take a lesson with you, like if you're not too busy, like maybe in like a month. Okay, nice, cool. Yeah. And then I have another student who plays like jazz trumpet and French horn. Who's everyone's great. Everyone who's studying with me is great. But it's very interesting with the people who like switch back and forth between that, or like mellow and horn. Thankfully, I don't have any mellow to horn students right now, but yeah. All right, what's next on the chopping block? I have Beethoven 9 this year. I have to play 4 Beethoven 9s, which I'm excited about, but I'm sure I'll be stressing too. We're doing every Beethoven symphony in like 2.5 weeks. You played trumpet until you started a Yale and jazz band, actually? Wait, so you played jazz band trumpet in undergrad, you mean? Was it difficult at all switching back and forth? I mean, I feel like my student, he does pretty well. He's got an epic high register. Nice! Well, dang, I didn't know that. Yeah, I feel like it must be good for your playing in a number of ways. The only thing that I was noticing is that my student tend to slow down his air too much, or he would like play notes with too slow of air all the time. And so now he's been speeding up his air, so his tone is a lot brighter and nice. Yeah. Thankfully, I never played 2 instruments at the same time. So, yeah. I'm actually in Indianapolis right now, with my girlfriend Tanavi. and so I'm based here in the Midwest for half the year. Okay, wait, what's next up on the chopping block? I don't really want to practice Beethoven 9 because it's kind of boring. Because the kind of like work that helps the most on Beethoven 9 is like flutter tonguing in the mid-low register and like bend and bumps, which like sounds like disastrous. Like the thing that helps me more than anything else in the world is going which sounds like I'm playing into like a fan or something. Oh, really? They also had a board game convention, which I'm like so sad I didn't go to. I didn't really comprehend that what happened at a board game convention because I love playing board games. But I didn't realize that all of the makers of board games come, they set up a table and they like put it out and they teach you how to play, and you play like a couple of rounds of like, you know, like 100 different board games. And so I wish I was doing that last week. Yeah, I got really David Alexander got me really into Dominion, the board game. Well, I guess it's a card game. And then Wingspan. Thea got me into Wingspan. I feel like I should be doing something in the high register. Oh, yeah, I'll still warm up my high register. There's an Andrew Bain high register warm up, which is this noodle exercise thing. I definitely play it like one note wrong, but I never learned it right. But this is just how I do it now. Spaghetti machine, yes. Did when you stayed with Purvis, did he ever have? I remember having like a brutal lesson with him on It's not brutal. Like he was never mean. But like I played Ravel G major. I was just like I really can't play this, and then he just made me play it up and up by half steps, and it was like the most screaming lesson ever. And then he had me do da 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 da, that exercise like above the staff and like starting on like high A flat. I don't know why that came into my mind, but I feel like that this is where my warm up is heading. As if it weren't brutal enough. I don't know if you've ever read the book Atomic Habits, but it tells a story about how like you can use little habits to improve things. And the opening story is about this coach of a race biking team who like adjusts the helmet, the bike, the water bottles, the frame, like everything, just to get everything 1% better, to improve the to improve the team's like race times. And I feel like lately I've been focusing on like what are the things that can improve my playing by like percentage points. And one of them is definitely air, so I've been like air attacking a lot of my warm up now. But one of them is this idea that I feel like I always played with my lips too far apart, so that was kind of why I couldn't really play in the high register. I struggled so much. And so now I'm trying to like start with my lips closed and then put air through them, and it creates this kind of like sound when you do out of the bell. Trumpet players are really good at doing that. But I realized that there was this nice like ping, like puh sound that came out of the bell of like people who had really crisp articulation. So that's kind of what I've been focused a lot on building in my warm-up now, so that my lips aren't too far apart. So when I start these like spaghetti machine exercises, I start trying to get like a p, but yeah, when my lips are really close together, things work so much better in the high register. I haven't done the Purvis dun 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 dun. Oh man, am I gonna do that up by half steps? Oh, G flat, brutal. Man, that is no fun. Do you subscribe to the idea that you should spend 2/3 of your time playing high and 1/3 playing low? I sort of do that most of the time. Otherwise, my high register playing falls apart. So I found that like when I studied with Andrew Bain, because he was always playing high stuff at work, I feel like a lot of his warm-up was focused on warming up the low register, whereas I'm fourth horn, so all my work is in the low register, so I spend most of my time on the high register. Yeah, it was something that my undergrad teacher said, and I think it was because I was practicing always in the low register, and I was like, why can't I play Brandenburg? So like to build up like the ideal, I guess, athleticism around the registers, that was what he sort of prescribed to me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Practicing the opposite of what you do all the time. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Super interesting. Yeah, does this sound like someone who's about to play Beethoven, or like a warm up for Beethoven 9? Oftentimes with something that I struggled with in undergrad was that my teacher had a really dark sound concept, and when I switched to a horn that like wanted to be, it was like a Rico Kuhn with, I think, was it a what was it? Not a Geyer rap, Knopf rap or something. But I feel like it wanted to be played with a really bright sound, especially in the high register, and I sort of wanted to always like make it sound like my Hoyer, or like basically a Con 8D copy. And then I like couldn't play high. And so I have to remind myself often to like adjust my sound concept to be a bit brighter to match. It was easy when I was at Colburn because I listened to Andrew play on Alex all the time. So I wonder, do you find that, Scott, like you're updating your sound concept for like to play the Alex the way it wants to be played, or does it just sort of fit really nicely with what you're already doing? Oh my gosh. There's a lot of back pressure in playing Screaming High. KMEA Allstate. I just gave a lesson to someone in the Mississippi Allstate. And they have like the most diabolical list I've ever seen. Well, not like Texas, but yeah, I feel like Alex is, I mean, if Scott's playing one, I feel like it's like a blessing for many people to be like, you can play an Alex in America in an orchestra and do well in auditions. Although my second horn in Pacific, he's on an Alex now, and the third horn, she just got an Alex as well, like a few months ago. So, yeah. But our principal plays a con AD. Oh yeah, okay, so Mississippi Allstate has Schumann 3. It's got Renish. Renish with repeats is one of the etudes. Okay, interesting. Wait, Dallas is on them now? I mean, I love the sound of... I've always loved the sound of Alex's. Yeah, bro, what? Go and look it up. Go look, the Mississippi Allstate is diabolical. It's like... Oh, man. Here, I'm gonna pull it up. It's every single scale. Was it major and minor? Okay, I'm gonna see. So it's a chromatic scale, and then it's every single major scale. 2 octaves. And then every melodic minor scale, 2 octaves. And then a Koprosh etude. I think, is this a Maxime Alphonse etude? Renish. And then some of Mozart 4. I couldn't play this Renish etude, like, well, until, I don't know, until I was like 25. So I just wonder, like, what's going on? You have to definitely use a descant for this. I would. I have no shame. I'm a 4th horn player. Okay, wait. Speaking of MTT making us do things from memory, he once made us all do Waltz of the Flowers in the middle of a rehearsal of Tchaik 5 or Tchaik 4. He was just like, horns, you guys know it. You guys know it. Play Waltz of the Flowers. And then just cued us in. And it was like 5 minutes of rehearsal of us like remembering the parts to it. And somehow we did kind of all know it. And without saying who was playing what part, we ended up playing generally the right notes. He also made us do Beethoven 3. It was the softest Beethoven 3 in a studio class. It was like Jen Montone teaching us. It's in D major, you'll be fine, yeah. Wait, remembering this from memory though is not. That is not ideal. I would definitely play without repeats. Yeah, like super soft. Like you wanted to sound like super far away, which I thought was like against every like instinct, but I think I wasn't playing it, like I was listening to it and I was like, whoa. But it did sound, it was a cool effect, but I definitely know that if I was playing it, I would wish I was playing it much louder. So Scott, have you ever played an audition with Haydn 31 in it? Because every time I see Haydn 31, I'm like, there's no way. Like, have you ever played an audition with it and one that actually asks for the repeats? Because I've seen it posted for a number of auditions, and I'm like, are they really asking for Haydn 31 with repeats in auditions? For first horn. Oh. Okay. Yeah. With repeats. That's so brutal. Yeah. I got a Descant. I actually have Lowell Greer's old Descant, and I love it. It's so great. It's an Alex 107. So I do have an Alex. Wow. There is some form of mercy out in the world if they let you do, at least let you do Brandenburg without repeats. I don't know what I would prefer. Yeah, I would definitely prefer to do Brandenburg with repeats than yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's hard to explain to people that, like, as a horn player, I could probably hear if someone's doing it at a Descant or not. Although I'll tell you what, I took Boston's utility audition with, and I used the Descant on Beethoven 7 and Ravel, whatever, Pavan. And only one of the comments I got, I advanced, and only one of the comments I got was like, Descant horn? So everyone else was like, yeah, fine. So I feel like people don't really care. And I played it for someone who was visiting New World, and they were like, you can't play Beethoven 7 on a Descant at an audition. And I was like, well, what do you do in the orchestra? And they're like, well, I use a Descant. I'm like, well, whatever. I think it's all about like getting your batting average up. I just watched Moneyball, which is like a great movie for one, and Michael Lewis is one of my favorite authors. But yeah, so I feel like it doesn't matter. I wonder what the Moneyball of like orchestra is like, where you're like trying to get baseball players every like stat boiled down to one number. You know. Sometimes I feel like this is kind of dark, but like to think it's like dollar per note. One time I played a gig that was $400 and I had 7 notes. I was like, I feel like this dollar per note will never be beat. Although I did do a run out gig once, and percussionist had 1 gong hit in some Saint-Saëns piece. He had 1 gong hit. It was $300. Thank you. Thank you, Music Man. Okay, off stage on Alpine, yeah. Oh man, I did the math. So I did off stage with LA last season, and I think it was like $30,000 for them to put to have off stage, because they had like extra horns, because we were actually in Disney, but we were like in the hall but behind this weird whale looking thing, because it's a Frank Gehry hall. So it's got all these like cool things. Anyways, and it was apparently loud. we were like, in the hall. Yeah, I was like, this is expensive. because it was too far away from the people on stage to walk back there, so that's why they had to hire people. And I think there were like I don't remember how many horn players. It was extra like 10 or 12. I know. It's my favorite piece, though, so I'm glad they do. I wonder why. I don't know. Maybe I'm like primed to like see certain pieces, but I feel like I just keep playing the same Strauss piece. Like every orchestra does it within a 2-year span, or every Mahler symphony they do within a 2-year span. But maybe there's something to do with like rights of certain editions. But I did Mahler 1 last year, and I'm doing Mahler 1 this year with a different orchestra, and then I did Mahler 2 last year with a different orchestra, and I'm doing Mahler 2 with my orchestra. So I don't know. I want to play Mahler 8. You play French horn? That's awesome. How long you played French horn for? Nice. That's great. What pieces are you working on? Someone just reminded me of the piece Hunter's Moon by Gilbert Winter. That one totally slaps. It was an awesome piece. I love playing that one because it had like stopped horn, low notes, high notes. Super fun. Some people slur the pickup to that after the low F. I kind of like how that sounds. I wonder if I'll do it. It feels illegal. Yeah, you should listen to the Mahler 9 with Katie Woolley. She adds a slur in one of the I don't know, whatever the common excerpt is, that makes it kind of easier, but also sounds so good that I'm like, oh hell yeah. I wonder if it was just like a different edition that's like not the IMSLP one, or if it was just like, is it ba da 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 wa da? Okay, the Urtext does have more slurs. Okay, maybe that's it. Because I was like, that makes more sense. Oh, okay. I've only seen it on IMSLP, and I've never played Mahler 9. I actually haven't listened to Mahler 9 all the way through. I've only listened to it through, like the sections with excerpts for first and second horn excerpts. So I'm excited whenever I do get to hear Mahler 9. Oh, wait. So I took off a week of playing, like a classics week next year to go listen to Indianapolis. Wait, Scott, you got to clear your schedule for this. Do you know who's coming to Indianapolis to solo at the Indianapolis Symphony? Stefan Dorr is coming to play Mozart 3. And the other half of the program is Mahler 5. I mean, I don't know if he's playing Mahler as well, but I mean, I cleared my schedule for it. That would be good for a road trip for either you or people in your people in your studio. Is it in February? I think it's in February. Was it February 19th-ish? I think that's when it is. So yeah, keep your eye out. I'm shocked as anyone. Okay, we got a question. What concerto do you recommend for someone who's played horn for 6 years? You're bored of Mozart and you want something more grandiose. Oh, okay. My first thought was the Franz Strauss concerto. Okay, really good solos. I think I just talked about so in terms of suggested rep, I like the Franz Strauss concerto. If you're looking for something romantic, I mean, is it too early to suggest Glière? I mean, Glière is really hard, but is super fun, and so it's one of those challenge pieces where if you like really love it and you love how it sounds, then it can be fun to play. If you've been playing for 6 years, Glière might be a fun one, but it's a total chop buster. Like I don't know. It made me so tired when I played. I played it on my senior recital for college, and I was like, I was wrecked. I was the end of my first half, and I'm like, I can't believe I have to play another half of a recital. So that would be one rep recommendation. I do like the Franz Strauss first horn concerto. If you like romantic horn concertos, Richard Strauss's first horn concerto is good. If you like French stuff, there are a bunch of French showpieces that are pretty fun. Villanelle is nice, by Paul Dukas. Bodidom, bum, bum. And there's some technical stuff at the end. Morceau de Concert, you might have played. That one's really fun. And it's like a theme and variations and then a slow movement that everyone plays way too slow. I can't stand slow movements that are way too slow. And then it has a really fun, super challenging full range third movement where the opening lick starts on a low C, goes 1, 2, 2.5 octaves, all within 2 bars. Super cool. And then really fast tonguing at the end. If you're looking for romantic stuff, yeah, that's about probably a good place to start. Stuff by Saint-Saëns. Saint-Saëns is how you spell it, but pronounced Saint-Saëns. And then Franz Strauss. Oh, he also wrote something called, is it Andante, which would be really good. Yeah. And then you had another question about something about orchestral playing. Your second question is, what advice you have for student horn players? You can play stuff like Tchaikovsky, Romeo and Juliet, but you're shaky when you play the solos. So if you're asking for tips on how to play the solo, then or not get nervous, I would recommend doing stuff like playing the solo for people who make you nervous. So there's practicing it in the practice room, but then there's also playing it for others, like your band director or your parents, or playing them in different locations, playing it in your bedroom or practice room, but then also going to a different hall, sneaking into a hall and practicing it. All that will really help you feel like when you get to the moment that you've played in a bunch of different circumstances and that you're in the moment, you can do it. All right, I have to head out, but it was great warming up and practicing and chatting with y'all. So yeah, take care. Happy French horn playing, everybody. Bye.